I'm going to share this that I particularly love because of, like in the pandemic, it was such a merging of the East and the West that I
Right.
love that, you know.
Yes.
This is from the end of the article, God Has to Be Manifested, which I totally love. That's my favorite. So we love to live, we live to die. We live to be a subject of self-reaction in use of him. We, his Eastern and Western disciples, those who have lived for him for many years, and those who have surrendered the same life to him since only a few years, all join as one devoted pack of soul hounds. Arr! I can't resist that. I love it. To serve his work. It is, and then it goes on a little further, but I love that because it doesn't matter when you came to Baba. I
Right.
mean, it's like whatever, whoever, whatever, nationality, creed, whatever.
Mhm.
And I love it just in the line it says, those who have lived for him for many years, might have been a few mandali, and the same life to him since only a few years. It's so beautifully put, and I thought,
Wow.
yeah.
Nice.
So this today we're going to be reading um, As I See It, or As I Saw It, I'll take one of them. And a two-part series called
Yep.
Ajmer Tours. And then the following week, we'll be getting into Ajmer Memories. I'm sorry. I was thinking of that, Ajmer Memories. And then A Stroll with the Master Along the Ganges. How and what title is that? And then The Voice. And The Voice is a kind of a description of this mystical language with Norina and Baba. So that's a preview of what's coming next week.
But we should say that when Narina met Meher Baba, and it was November 8th of 1931, and she knew he was the Christ when she met him. She had uncontrollable crying, so much so that after he met with her, she was in a room in Harmon-on-Hudson, and he'd come every hour between meeting people to see if she was all right. So anyway, she writes him a letter after that. Are you the voice that's been talking to you, to me? Are you the voice? I want to know if you're the voice. And he says, yes. He replied, the reply is
Yeah.
record. And he says, I am the voice, but don't share it with anyone yet. Not yet. So that's very important because it's just not a whim that someone's doing this.
Right.
I mean, this is like, and I know from sharing it, a lot of people have an actual aversion to it, and I thought, I love it, so you never know.
So Narina's book that Charles and was it you that worked? Oh,
Narina's,
so
Norina,
that is not the book that we're
different. This is different. These are
okay. I thought so. Okay, I just wanted to be sure.
yeah, there's a talk on the 9th, that you can look up. It kind of gives the context of they were first published in the Mayor Baba journals.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm going to do now.
but I will say, there is something in her diary's included in Narina's gift. And it was reading that diary, it's amazingly in the mystical language. For me,
Mhm.
it was like, and it was one line where it said, I put into you the desire to use your intellect to serve me. That service will initiate in you and in the world a new rhythm. That's spelled with a capital R,
Mm.
italicized, of pure and selfless love.
Mm.
So this is something different happening here, you know.
Okay.
I mean, it has a charge to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And you don't have to understand it, Bubba said. Just read it with reverence,
If you want to read it, if we read along, you can move over.
which actually is a great liberty, because you can have it yourself and read it to yourself.
Right.
There needn't be any priest class who read better. It's in English. So for me, it's a great gift. Anyway, so much for me.
Okay, Jay Baba. So we'll begin this first article is As I Saw It by Princess Nerina Machabeli. In 1938, Sri Mayor Baba gave the following statement when interviewed about the newly organized institution of the so-called God-Man men in Ruhuri. I am now undertaking the last stage of preparation. As the surgeon's knife cuts the matured cataract and restores sight, so when the world is ripe, my blessing shall restore the drooping spirit of the world. The establishment of the Mad Ashram at Ruhuri since 1937 has been shifted to Mehrabad, where the general activities of Sri Meher Baba have been reunited in separate small settlements. On the 25th of September of this year, Sri Meher Baba organized a theatrical performance of the God Mad Men in their ashram at Mehrabad. The extraordinary spectacle of God Mad Men was acted in perfect order on a regular stage with regular theatrical props and original costumes suited to the well-known Indian spiritual drama entitled Gopi Chand. These madmen were trained to memorize the text of their roles, which they repeated, keeping perfect sequence of the spoken sentences. They were directed like marionettes and obeyed unconsciously as divine instruments. At a certain moment, one of these phantom-like creatures seemed to open up with a wider space in feeling, when suddenly breaking away from the learned text, he released in loud words the urge of life for liberation. We heard the cry of the soul in bondage in the unconscious mind. The cry came spontaneous from the inner source of life, aware in deeper intuition. His words said, I fall at your feet. I give you my life. I die for you. Another madman standing near as his partner in the play was carried into the momentum of the exalted soul, and with the imitative gesture of a child, but using senseless words, automatically followed the executive control within, without resistance, exposing unconsciously his self-defense, pleading for mercy. This wonder of deep reaction I shall in no further way describe than in repeating Sri Meher Baba's own words. He saw me as the light in the darkness of his existence. In mind, in being, he was a light. He was sure of my oneness in him. He saw my being in him in fullness.
All this was unfathomable and almost impossible to realize. I felt as one dreaming. I was as though looking through a nightmare of life unreal, confused, false, and see the divine mind react in its finite existence in ignorance. I saw Sri Meher Baba's universal mind evolve through the subjective work in mind in expiation, the objective state of mind in spirit existence. Sri Meher Baba is the divine constructive reaction in mind finite that results universally. The Christ show in life, in being, is pure self-use of life, and it is real, pure work. It is one all work in existence. The Master himself made the following statement as explanation of the subtle order of his external work. What does my work in mind experience? What does the truth in mind experience? What does mind in expression in life and in spirit experience? Mind impersonal and mind individual, I react in man conscious or unconscious. I am the extra order in mind. Give in, bring in, do, act, react. Mind as pure intuition is a work individual in man. Man reacts in himself as individual to the operation in mind. That is to say, man gives his life in expansion within new conscious order as I in intuition. I do the indivisible reaction in reaction. It is the impulse of life impersonal in mind personal. The expiation in mind of man is individual, impersonal, impure, pure, good, bad, in extra show in one, as life in free order in existence. It is the state of mind indivisible in the finite mind. It is two in one, the triangle order as fact, that one is and has to bring in and out in order to live in and out, the secular order in expansion, in conscious order in I.
The divine mind has descended into its own finite order in human existence to speed the happy ending through the reactive show in every degree in conscious life in mind. May the external effect be war or peace. Both ends will bring to fulfillment the supreme conclusion. The real and only worthy result of it all is to realize within the state of life conscious of yet dormant divine existence. The selfless crew of individuals belonging to the old stock of the Mandali, who for over 20 years have served unafraid and are staunch in the hard game of discipleship to the perfect master, have given an extraordinary demonstration of selfless service, of unflinching endeavor and patience to put through the difficult scheme of the divine executor. They have given an example which will remain a lesson to all. Their selfless love performed a true miracle. Sri Meher Baba made it possible that these God-mad men became instrumental for his divine plan. And those good helpers who served to bring to realization the external experiment he has transformed throughout the many years of selfless dedication of their lives to him, to become perfect agents of his directing will. Sri Meher Baba's will is divine love that can resurrect.
Now, this is Ajmer Memories, 1939. So we're on the blue bus trip. You can't see my blue bus, but they're all packed up. These notes I have gathered to explain the significance of Sri Meher Baba's work during the tour, Blue Bus tour through India this year, 1939. It took off in December 8th, 1938. Sri Meher Baba's own statements having the definite importance to be the subtle explanation of his workings in the planes, mental and subtle, I here relate as they were given to me. My child, you ask me what is the significance of my tour in India with the Western and Eastern group. Why do I react in general and in particular in the way I do operate here now? This is my answer. I have come to resurrect. I do react in reaction in the universe as the divine life that is the reaction power in all, in any. I am the mind impersonal. I am the I life divine to realize in all one, all life, the use perpetual in reaction. That is the preparation reaction. I here now do operate in subtle way in mind, in I, to fulfill the pure realized state infinite. To react in I as one, as I have descended. The scope of the new realization reaction I, here now, do realize in my own way. It is superficial and it is deep. It is superficial and deep at one time. I, conscious within, in mind infinite, react in mind in finite order in conscience. To do this, I am one, all, one, I, as use of life infinite. I am use. I am work. I am life. I am way. I do this reaction show of life infinite in every design in mind, in men, here, now. Oh, I have to read this. I love this here. His divine mind is making motion. It is like the wind that blows over the ocean. It creates waves, bubbles, deep subterranean earthquakes. It reacts in the deep show of life, in reaction infinite, and in the dual life of men in self-expression. It is the divine wrath in life of mind infinite. It is stir in lust, anger, passion, to submerge in life infinite the demon, the I, individual, selfish. Nothing is pain. Nothing is life in reaction when life in mind, in spirit, is the divine opposing force that in I, in finite, is life unselfish, life impersonal, indivisible love.
Throughout this tour in India with Sri Mer Baba, we who had the privilege to be in his perfect company have been benefited in the uncommon way that one could only design as infinite expansion in conscious reaction of him doing the divine dispensation. We have witnessed the divine martyrdom of life. We have witnessed the expiation through life of mind, body, spirit, bring forth the realization of the divine theme. We saw in this tour with the God-man the miracle of life that is fulfillment of life divine. It was reward to see the unconditional courage win in those one has to name the brave ones, the holy beggar, crawling, creeping, walking the unending strife along the roads of life crude, bad, good, and so real. It was reward to see these staunch warriors of the path endure their selfless show of humility, sharing with the poor in spirit and the destitute in life the same divine urge to maintain life, unable to be tempted by food unless the hungry dog of the street is fed first. To see this humble martyr resigned in non-resistance to the crude show of life in opposition for the love of God, was true inspiration. Heroic courage of those who seek for truth is the worthy cooperation that in this life of one like Sri Mer Baba is speeding the divine realization. Life unselfish was the life of Jesus. Real life of humility was the life of San Francis. Mastery in servitude is the life of Sri Mer Baba. To realize the divine life, these men of hard labor in expiation throughout innumerable tests have in self-use unselfish tried to imitate the life's example of their spiritual leaders, whom they know to be the One. Unselfish love, humility of mind, unselfish use of one's own efforts are the great virtues that create the positive result. It reforms man and his character. It annihilates the selfish I. It forms the true lover of God. Love that longs for perfect union is mono order in conscience that in them has driven in the divine urge for self-annihilation. With patience unending, with heroic self-sacrifice, they endure the holy ordeal of life as it is.
Real wonder to us was the young divine lover of God, old timer on the path, who says, I have muttered throughout all my life 2 words, God, love. Today these words have become true. Saying this with eyes filled with tears of joy, unfathomable, he looks up to Baba, who is standing in the doorway, waiting ready to give him the bath and the food that has to reassure the way. Among these of the God-searching tribe, that day came a crippled man who had become crippled for having sat for years in the same position, regardless to cold or heat or bodily discomfort. This one called out for food. While calling loud for the material need, he was beating his head against the stone wall, as if to do penance for his material want, which for so many years in self-denial he had tried to win in with pure longing for truth. Here he was, lying in front of the door of mercy. There stood the most merciful of all men, who exchanges free the impure desire, who says, come to me, all who are in need, good or bad. In me is life immune. That day was Baba's 45th birthday. Baba's gift to them was the bath of compassion and the material food, which handed by him becomes symbol of grace. He has come to bless them all who real and true long for the ultimate admittance in the divine heart, all who struggle free and unattached for the divine fulfillment, who lend the warmth of their human heart in humble assistance to others, the ignorant ones, whether the rich or the poor, who owe the contagious state in rapture, in benediction, that is life in love, emotion, spiritual, who crawling about in dirt and in rags to signify no other desire than to give love. Sri Meher Baba's work is the divine dispensation as the living divine spark that in living is the realization of the truth. He is the divine spark as love motion in divine expansion, in pure rhythm. He is the Redeemer. He marks shortcut in evolution, in the good and in the bad. He is mercy. He is all-knowing. To us who still expiate in body and mind, the state impersonal in reaction, Sri Meher Baba says, servitude in mind, in selfless state in being, is more than the physical act to react to all the pain as the physical order in creation. Why do men see that and none but realize the pain in I. As us divine, I, in all, am the selfless serving one that is both hard, soft, real, false. I, in all, am less than the finite reaction in men is. I, in mind, in men, am more than the I infinite is. I am all in one, the one in all expansion infinite, that in all is self-use of truth. To see in my own external work this is to see the divine I in use in all as help, as fact to react in self-use, the I in use. For this I am the divine I in use divine. To see life realize the divine expansion in spirit, I am the divine expansion in being that is free, unattached, unconscious in use in I, as duo act, as reaction. I am the sure show of truth that in all, in any, is pure elevation. That I hear now so in all, who in self-state, in use impersonal do, and undo in me, them in I. To do in them I, as the finite order in expiation, I am descended.
To be the divine I in use in one in I, in two in one, unself active in reaction, is to bring in one, in I as mind, body, spirit, the state of selfless experience. To see in this one in I as divine conscious reaction in I, in finite reaction, is to see, to know, to find within the state free. To live for me is to live for use of me, unselfish in all in I, as infinite as finite order in mind. That is the whole show of mind in I infinite. I here now do stir. This is the explanation that in I infinite is of use to all who in I infinite show the reactionless state in reaction in the realm in spirit. To the average mind in finite reaction, this is too impersonal as conception. To the average intuition, it is too impersonal. To the self-acting, real good man in the path spiritual, it is the divine intuition in I as the I impersonal, that in I impersonal is the divine life as self-guidance. When in mind in I infinite, the self-guidance is reactive. It is the divine I impersonal in one in I as the portion in I infinite that in mind in acceptant reaction is operating as the divine self. When in I in life in the dual, the divine I as use infinite is descended, the self-use infinite in I as the I in the duo reaction in the infinite, as portion in life, in I as self, is the divine mind in expansion, in self-reacting use, that in mind in the infinite is the use of truth direct. That is to be new in I, in the finite as reaction. It is new as it is, giving new the divine impulse to seduce in I, in the finite reaction, the divine impulse. To live in my one in I resigned is to realize in the state unconscious the divine show of I. See me, it is I in me. It is I in me is Jesus. See me, it is I in me is Jesus. I am in all and in every human the Christ power that has to realize the new awakening in spirit here now. I do it in a different time with a more developed mind as mental understanding. But in spirit, it is the sure show impersonal in mind and being as spirit that I realize new. I demand obedience, no more penance, no more life in ritual and ceremony of religion, but of life real in practice of life of every day. I demand mankind to react as human divine creature and no more as animal that is in the I divine unconscious and obscure, as was the mind in man when Jesus as I was crucified. To crucify is to react in me in pain.
To say one is dead and no more alive is to say to me that I do no more exist in I, in man. It is here that I win in mind, in man. Here I win in all, in mind, in man. Here I do win, here in you, my human element in creation. Here now, life is threatened by destruction, threatened by life material. Here now, in every corner is death doing me pain. That is crucifixion. I say this here now to all, here in this spot of peace. No more war, no more beatitude in rapture, but expression in life human. I shall win in all the conscious I, that in all is human. So the good man, the mad one, the real ascetic, all have to know me as God, who is here to deliver to life an other conscious state impersonal, that is love. Love is the feast of life in rapture in every day's life. Love is rapture of joy in every motion state impersonal. Love has to reconcile the nations, the religious differences, the differences in race. I here in Ajmer find more life to rescue for me, to work with, than in any place we were. We here know what is life divine. It is in men in all phases. It is here, there, and none anywhere, but there where love has marched in and out in bare suffering. These people have been crucified for love. We see that. We see it in everyone who here appears before me. As in non-resistance in love is mind, real love. In non-resistance in being is life, real love. So see the saint, the little hungry begging soul. It is all one life in martyrdom, in life that has given to me this birthday gift. I see in these two men whose life conscious I win in being, that they were to me sure to come. Here Baba alludes to the Majub on the sixth plane in consciousness, and to the second agent, who is the conscious type on the path in the sixth plane. I saw their lives linger in ardor of living joy and conscious expiate in love. The last step in them I shall beseech free. These I win in the divine eye, as I win any one of you. Here in Ajmer, I am free to work, as here I feel life so strongly protected against the impure reaction of life in opposition. I here work unconditional and absolute and free. This year, Baba spent his August birthday, or probably August birthday, in working for them whose divine experience we have reacted in deep awe, sharing with them the almond supreme of his divine living love.
Later, Baba speaks again about the two holy men. He says, one of them is the advancing soul as Mazub on the sixth plane, a rare case. Such a man is still within. He is like a beautiful lake that is frozen. He is a beautiful life that has expiated and ended the strife. He is at the desireless state when in mind one is calm. He has no real desire. Those who know the differences, in fact, of these planes in consciousness know what is the mind in the state in stillness. You, as laymen, know and see and feel. The man in the mind state, pure, above the finite, is calm. Both these selves are free from birth and death. This is free life in being, in spirit, that has attained the state in life in mind infinite, that is indivisible existence in mind in rapture, in the light of truth. No one is apt to go beyond this state without the personal help of God. The truth is no man's state. Man has to adventure as high as this to know me in light.
Ajmer Memories continued. Sri Meher Baba says, them who win in self-divine joy to surrender to me, win in me. To win in me is to realize God. To see in me God as self-state in intuition divine, I win in self-state divine. The attainment of life in eternal bliss is gift of God in person as mind infinite, in form as human. Baba, referring to the agent on the sixth plane, states further, seeing, knowing, feeling is a passing phase, as is his. He has still to climb to me the I imperishable. The soul has no expiation to endure. In the state in self-use, impersonal as the light of God, he, being in it impersonal, is still bound to light enjoyment. He is dazed. He is submerged and not above. So he has to wait for grace. I shall give him the grace, and it will be when I realize in it him as me as one. These men who were brought to me by my workers came because I have drawn them to me here in my home to forego in my own alive presence the last phase. I shall leave them here in charge of high position that no one will ever see or discover. They are my own working agents whose life I here establish to serve as divine life, to use all as it is, for use to me, I, God. So this man has to realize me as I have to realize me in him. We in one only love motion expiate in I, divine our own mind. He is in me the I infinite, and in him the I indivisible, pure, real. He has to realize me, and so do I in him expand in dream state of life in God. He in self-deluded state, in seeing God in me, is in me life that is real good to be use, as in it I conscious do realize me.
Wow.
He has to serve me as anyone has, who is real, good, unselfish. The Majub in the sixth plane is rare and wins in me when in him I appear as human, as person. He knows me and sees me as light. Both these souls see me and realize me as the one, the light divine in person, as man in state infinite, as conscious realization in being, as them portion of the divine one all I. Life one is still in them in portion state. The other one of the two agents is a spiritual type different from the first above mentioned. He is different inasmuch that he is more indifferent to the state infinite. But in the life as human, he is a real man who is fully conscious of the gross plane of consciousness. He sees me wash himself and do service to him, and his own reaction is worship. When this one appeared, I saw in him good and bad in riot. This is a different order of self in use in the mind infinite. He is so far in his advancing progression that he is real selfless use of the divine mind. All the advancing souls are indirect in me, the use of me in life as stirring atmosphere, as joy, and as life that is progressing. These men of Ajmer I shall see to bring in soon as life real good. I shall do as I do to all, awaken.
It is fact, and it is reverence in them for me, to all in me as life, that I have to realize them who win in me in desire to live in me free, free as me. So I conscious help all who in me win. These men whose I as state consciousness is real, I win in me to serve me here, since I am descended to serve. I do help and serve in self-use of me as human. This is the difference of me, God, and of me, human. I am serving these men and all men as human. I do it, I serve, I wash, act, and react. I realize in conscious expansion in I infinite and in finite conscience. I do stir the self-act in being of use to the I, in expiation, in good, in bad. If one is in mind in all impersonal or disassociated from the self-experience, the life in mind in the finite is of use of cause in direct way. To see this, I do refer to the fact of these my working agents who at all hours in day or night show the real desire to serve me. That is, to serve in the I as superficial I, as it is in the one I and order in them, to see, to be at the disposal of my external or internal call. These men owe to be the stronger ordering mind readers and subconscious knower. They sow the cause in being love directed by the divine expansion. These I do govern in all the scale in consciousness. I in them, the substance divine, in them in direct intuition, do it unseen. The fact that they were here in my own presence in the mysterious part to all who know so little of the working of the divine mind. The divine mind works in differences. The mind in the state finite is too much occupied with a self reaction, and as it creates individual reaction, is accumulating the rubbish that in the mind infinite has to be reacted in self-use unselfish of the life unselfish. To say it once more in your individual language, it is the act in reaction in life of mind in the I finite, that is to react, to execute the expiation, that has to be divine surrender. That is, one is in the strife, the expiating self, or I, or subconscious life in expiation, or the mind infinite in self-use for use impersonal, or the duo reaction in the whole universe. This realization, expiation in mind in the infinite I, in the sixth plane, do react indirectly as cause. Be it as it is, they do the divine will's order in the reactionless state in which they see the divine light. Thus they do the duty of the life indivisible in the state of Mazub. This direct order in the state of a Mazub is to call in them to order the last phase. To see in the eye, in the mind infinite, the light, is to them too new to be reacted, as in it they still seem to enjoy the divine life in pure rest, as such it is. The divine pure rest is a danger in all who in rest see me as light. It is rapture in mind infinite, and it is life in reactionless state in these selves, in the finite expansion of conscious. So I do it to help them on. They were called in the way indirect by the order in the I infinite and in the order in the way external through my own disciples. These men of my mandali have trained to see in the intuition as you in the intuition hear my direct order. They do it accurately as it is to serve my work that they do it. As they are so individually linked to me, the direct intuition call is through them, my own disciples. That is why I do order in all strictest discipline in obedience, as in every hour of day and night, I do work in direct and indirect way.
These two agents here in Ashmir owe to serve me in being as divine use. They serve as the antennas in the spiritual world in these regions in India. This is to be a fact recognized after I have spoken the divine order of the new dispensation. These people I do love as I love other human expiating mind as me in use in them. They owe me as I do owe in them to be divine I, as use divine. These men I observe from afar and dictate from afar and operate from afar. These men I do react from afar, and they owe no more to know it. They live to live for me in them, and no more for themselves in themselves. I in them am one, I, truth, God. See me give love to the pure in heart, the anguished in self state divine, those in anguish in hunger impersonal, to use themselves impersonal for use of my one in I life that is divine. See them conscious revere me, begging in me for love while destitute and humble and hungry for food. See them offer their whole existence, all life in self-design, to use themselves for use of me. All I here try to expand in them. During these hours in deep spiritual work on this tour through India, which you all personally witness, is self-use in them of truth. It is use in me of them in selfless experience of truth. All I do here is selfless use of me in them. See it. Give it as demonstration of me to the world in these few pages. As I do give you the right to do it, see this as fact of love to the world. I here say to the world, come all who are heavy laden, I will free ye of the burden of pain, of suffering. See me do it. See me practice it. This is what I wish to give to the world as my advice through them who love me. See in this me, one, the God's love in desire to help. I win in all in men the mind that is pain, wrath, revenge in war as life misused, in vengeance, whether by the word in slander or through the use of the knife or weapon. I will resurrect in love. All I will desire in love to obey truth. One I, God, me as his son, as his emissary, humble and selfless, human as man, that conscious in all is compassion. This here see and say to all, Sri Meher Baba is here, compassionate in mind, in all to do good. He is here to solve in love pure, life real. He is here to use impersonal truth to manifest truth real as life, as experience of truth, more than it has ever been given before. It will be good to see life resurrect from the ardent desire to destroy life real. Sri Baba says, all here is life impure in destruction. See in it you, he, she, all of you destroy to see me new arise in you. These holy men you have seen alive arise in me in joy and bliss, to seduce in them the Christ use. I hear design free. In you, human who is bound in life infinite in me, I use the use in finite experience. When men do inquire why I do wash the destitute, for what use, you may answer, Sri Meher Baba is living compassion in all his own actions in life, in practice of him divine. He is human to use himself as simple, real compassion to demonstrate what we must know to be good, to be real, to act in life as spiritual human striver. We do not always need to practice austerity. We none else than ought to practice good, doing good in selfless motive. We ought to be as he is. It is real and simple, and it is good and none else than simple as he is divine. To be divine is to be good. To be good is to be divine. So it is.
Later, Baba explained to me about the voice as superconscious clairaudience in a subject who is still in finite bindings. He stated, the voice which I allow to resound in word and thought is not an ordinary phenomena as clairaudience. It is an experience in finite I of you who is infinite in I as all strife. To men in general, it is phenomena, but it is real expansion in reaction in finite experience of the one I as one infinite in portion in a human striver who is connected in my own work since the beginning of life in finite strife. It is no more than an earning an I that has still to expiate in I as human till I in it resign the strife. The well-earned reward in strife is life in suffering in love, in physical ailment, and in spirit for the one I existence. It is important to say this to men in general, as the voice is too often misunderstood as physical phenomena. It is very difficult to realize me, as it is difficult to bring in the whole of the one in I existence. To know me is to realize the divine reaction in all in life as the show in resurrection. The divine apparition of Sri Meher Baba here now is significant. It is the doing and undoing of the selfish I. That is its work in use. It is in us the divine I's awakening. His word as the divine verb will bring the form of life that he is now preparing. The word of truth, when he shall speak, shall do the divine work's reactive result. What is the reaction imperative in I to all in life, that in pain is the strife? It is to find in I, in the strife, the free expansion in spirit. It is to know the divine I's use. It is to realize within God's reaction as penance, as free use, impersonal divine. Life as self-use is misery. It is selfish play in reaction, and one is in its use, the show uncontrolled. One is in its play in opposites as mind, contro action, use impure and unsatisfied. One is unhappy in life selfish. One is unholy as selfish, self-act, impure, unactive in I as spirit. Immature in mind, we in its use unconscious, design as unreal. Baba wanting us to realize the true show of him in reaction in the sphere, in I, in the infinite, says this: I here now shall use to show in you the divine reaction in I infinite, in one in I, in reaction to my own use whenever I will. Sowing in I is to realize in I infinite the divine reaction in winning will. To sow I in mind infinite, operate in mind infinite, and in mind infinite reaction, whenever I in mind infinite owe to sow. That is the sign in mind infinite of me in any or all as omnipresent order infinite. To resign, one has to realize in state in being in peace, which is the divine state in being in peace. To know this is to have to give in life, mind, and the divine I in the infinite and reactionless, realizing reaction. That is to see, know, feel, instead to think and to react in the intellect.
Baba states, to use the divine life of me here now, it is good to grow indifferent to self-use in the intellect. That is a very interesting experiment to do, as in it one is in rapture in self-use infinite, no one. That is to say, one is use infinite of life divine and no more of the show in self, use selfish of one's own human creation. That is the use I here make of you, who in I infinite has to react in use infinite for my own use as the divine life descended. To all who live in me resigned, I conscious do help to realize life infinite. I help to give way to life in use unselfish. I am one I, truth, the way to one.
Mir Baba Ki Jai.
Jay Baba, I have to say, when I was reading Dr. Duncan's book of the Wayfarers, at the same time I was reading this about Ashwin, and I thought, oh, I got so excited because she just has a gift actually to bring this through, obviously, because uh, Duncan, it was very matter of fact, like a doctor with, observation. And I tell you, this trip to Ajmer turned my head around. Yeah. Anyway, she has the gift to hear that voice internally, as from the very first she was hearing it. You can look in Narina's gift in her document. Prakash,
Excellent. Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Baba.
Hey, Baba.
Yeah. So nice to hear those beautiful sounds read by you both. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
But
And Jai Baba Mary. Mary is right behind there. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
admiring you today.
Thank you so much. You guys read so beautifully. And I tell you, these words are going out there and spreading that love through
It's true,
Baba.
because Baba says, when I come, I stir.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Everybody
he's doing
stirred
that.
up. I mean, it's like, and I love the beginning of that. It says, the divine mind is like a wind that blows over the ocean. It creates waves, bubbles, deep
Yeah.
subterranean earthquakes. I mean, really.
Thank you both.
Something
Thank
like
you all.
this.
Thank you
Jai
for
Baba. Jai Baba.
your Jai Baba.
And thanks for the note, Jonathan. I received that, and that was so beautiful. I mean, those things. I just
I mean,
replied to
the
you,
truth
indicate.
the truth
Yeah.
is always the truth, and that was it's just amazing how you can find it. That's the one thing actually about this mystical language, is all the quotes that we've stored in over the years, they take on a new angle
Yeah.
when we kind of I don't know whether you want to call it the internal perspective that gets I don't know what it is, but I just know that it's been very enriching.
Yeah. No, I was just talking to Sally about this, and I was just telling her about avataric periods being the spring tides of creation, things
Yeah.
that are not accessible to no, I mean, only accessible to advanced souls are now accessible to everybody. So,
But when you know what I think of? I think of that quote that I love from the time is rapidly approaching. I think it's here.
yeah,
When a
yeah,
tidal wave will
yeah,
rise out of the ocean of grace, then the usual process by which the waters in the river flow into the ocean will be reversed, and the ocean waters will rush through the riverbed. Be prepared to
beautiful,
receive this overflow of my grace. I mean,
beautiful.
yeah, I
Awesome.
memorized that because I thought, wow, wow.
Thanks
And
again. Jai
yeah,
Baba.
thank
Jai
you.
Baba.
Yeah.
Baba.
Jai Baba, Wendy.
Hey,
And
Shaw.
Baba
That was
said,
lovely. Thank you. Thank you for
amazing.
letting me join. It was
Yeah.
lovely.
He's working with these musts. I mean, I tell you, in the Wayfarers, very little was said about, and this is like, whoa, he's working with them and what they are, an agent, this, that. Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
This has been so wonderful. Can the host has blocked out my video, so I can't get on.
I have not, I was trying to figure out, because at one point I realized.
Yeah, that's never happened before. I've been in the dark the whole time, as it were.
Let's see, start
Start
video
video.
request. See, I'm unfortunately, I am not.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Is under tools when I'm looking here. Let's see if I can.
Well, got too many wrinkles on your forehead because you're looking. I'm just wanting to say what a powerful message this was that you offered us today. And that, the two of you, but you guys, that always attend with Scott's meetings with me, will appreciate this. You are able to hit that same rhythm in these messages that up till except for you guys, Scott's been the only one that I've heard that inner movement of Baba in these messages. So thank you for sharing it.
It is there because Baba says just read it with reverence. And I think it's difficult because it takes us out of the way we use our language, and it's
Right.
really uncomfortable to have,
Can be.
yeah, to have your language used a different way, and you're going, it's like mind blowing, but it's, I think it's stirring the intuition.
Yeah, it makes you suspend the intellect and
Yeah.
not try to understand what you normally can more or less understand in the English language, unless you're reading something really abstruse. But yeah, thank you, Judy. And for anyone that Scott's meeting is on Mondays, he uses his own Zoom channel, so you need to get a link for it. You can contact me or Rosalie, or I think there may be, if you go on Baba Zoom, there may be a way that it just tells you there too. But
yeah, but I do want to say, I read these to myself too. I
Yeah.
read them to myself, and you never know what your experience will be, but they are so charged. I mean,
They hold power in themselves.
I mean, it's like, and only one time did I, during one of these readings, when the reading was over, this thought came to my mind that every cell in my body was nourished. Now, I don't think of myself as a bunch of cells walking around, so that was not my, it was, and it was like,
by the way, when Scott first did this, he made a PDF document of all of Narina's articles. So if anybody would like a copy of that, they can contact me and I can send them the PDF file. I also have JPEGs of the articles that were slated to be published but weren't published and were in Adi Keharani's archives.
And I
don't. Oh, sorry.
Wendy, I wanted to address this to you because I have fond memories of our times at Maribod. You found what we heard together today heart moving. I strongly suggest you come to this meeting that Scott McCaig does each Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And it's deeply, deeply powerful. And as Jonathan was just saying, it's not on Baba's Zoom right now. It's but you can get the link through. Well, right. I can send it to you, or I don't have your email, but it's
So it's 7 o'clock on Monday?
every Monday. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And who will give me that information to get there? I'm rather challenged when it comes to computers.
Jonathan, can you send that to Wendy? Do you have her address?
I'm not sure.
Do you have it, Jonathan, or no?
If you want to text me right here just send me in the chat.
In the chat. Okay. I think I can do that.
Where it says chat, click.
Okay. So if I just.
Yeah, and you can just put it in. Yeah.
Who do I send it to? Everyone or to?
either way, or just me, just click on me and send it to me, either way, however you want to do it.
And
But
could
you're
have-
Jonathan, right?
Yeah,
You're
But
not
he's-
coming up. I've got Baba family host.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, okay. All right, sorry. I'm not very techie at all.
Join the
You're not
club.
alone.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you one line from it that's oneness is rest in being.
Okay, demo Wendy K at gmail.com. Okay, so then I send it.
Capital B.
okay, I got it.
Oneness.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
I've been-
Yay!
I've been attending Scott's for the last 5 years, as have Rosalie and Jonathan. And it's so powerful.
Yeah.
It's
I- Yeah. I attended once or twice and then I got sick and my focus was on getting better and I'm doing great now. So I'm gradually working my way back to Baba Zoom. So thank you.
I will add one thing here because myself, I read them from how they were in the Mayor Baba's journal, and the rhythm is in them. The rhythm is in them. It says,
Okay.
I here act in mind and vibration to make in you life grow. It's in there if you read them with reverence.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good too.
that's
So
why.
Monday at 7
Right.
and you'll
Yeah.
send me the stuff. Okay, that'd be great.
And
And the
if you-
link, once you have the link, just keep that link. It's the same link every Monday.
Every Monday. Okay.
He
Thank you.
doesn't send them out every Monday. So yeah, you need to keep it.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to go. Wonderful. Thank you, all of you. Jay Maribaba.
Nice to hear you, if not see you, Judy.
Always happy to see your special blue bus.
And I treasure the blue bus. Everyone, all the mandali squeezed in there.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
much more was going on during the blue bus tours.
You
That
know,
anybody had any idea? I mean, this
well, look at the blue bus book. Didn't mention it at all.
It was,
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
whole different level of what
Yeah.
Baba was actually doing
Yeah.
on those blue bus tours. Yeah, the book is the external, which is very helpful to have, where he went and what he physically did. But this is about what he was, this is a shadow about what he was really doing. Certainly, I don't know what that was, but Baba gave us so much in these. Anyway, thanks all for sharing.
Is there anything I can print out to read at all or no?
it's PD. Well, Bob, if you don't have the gift, that is on.
Oh, I have that. I
Okay,
have
so
the gift.
that's one. And then
That's Doreena's book, right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
the
yeah, I have that.
PDF and the JPEGs that I'll send, you can print out. You can go to a copy place, or if you have your own printer, you can print them out.
Yeah,
That's what
'cause
I-
they might,
that's what
they
we
might
did. We
stop
just
you
made
from
a-
copying them. I went to copy
Oh,
it,
okay. Okay.
and they
Yeah,
says,
they-
"Oh, that's copyrighted," and I,
Ju-
you
they
know, I
just
just
ask you,
went
they
to the
just,
wrong
you can
clerk.
just tell them that you have permission.
You have
know.
permission.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
All
can.
right.
But the
Well-
thing is, the
Just don't. sell it.
Narina's diary is really, that's when he was speaking to her. He was
Right.
speaking to her, and when she,
That's the book, right?
Yeah,
well,
that's the book.
it's contained in the book.
In the book, yes. Yeah.
Diary, and then there's the 40 messages.
Right, right.
The diary was before she met him. He was
Right.
speaking to her, and
Right.
I
right.
tell you, it's quite something what he was saying. I mean, it's like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, so
Awesome.
thank you all, and
Thank you, Jay Baba. Thank you so much. I'm not
Uh,
sure exactly how I ended up here today,
Yeah,
but somehow happened, and I'm so grateful. Thank you.
That's great. That's great.
Wendy, I wanted to say one other thing again. Oh, it left my mind. I guess
Let
I
me
wasn't
stop the
supposed to say it.
recording.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's just, I feel it's such an important thing. And especially now that we've all gone more inward,
Right.
then
Yeah.
it, shut the doors and and the thing is, I love it. And it's in Ashbury, it says, in me is life immune. Did you
Mhm.
know? Did you pick up on that? I went, wow. You were all going, what vaccination? What can we do? I laugh.
Hey, Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Meher Baba.
Good to see
Lovely to
you,
see you all.
Angie. Bye.
Lovely to see you.